There we go. Hey there. Oh, today. Hopefully. Oh, wow. Good morning, everybody. Really, good morning. 99.1 WDJY and the rest of the Mastiff Media Network. It's Wednesday, 11:03. Counting down. Not today, but 6 more days. See I get this right. I'm listening to yesterday all day. They're saying 7 more days. So that means Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So they're counting election day, and they're not counting the day that they're in, or they're counting the day that they're in, and they're not counting election day because that's the day. However it goes, we'll go Wednesday, the rest of today, because we still got all day today. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and stop there for 6 days. But less than a week. Point being,
wake up, goddammit!
Yeah, I've been up, been happening. Been to Dunkin' Donuts, Home Depot, and Harbor Freight. And as soon as we're done here in less than an hour, back out, clean up, get rid of mold, get rid of dust, get rid of everything that has been messing up this house since Helene. Today, Pierre's Pod, as always. Morning motivation, as I don't know what it's been for 3 years since I've lived here. I spend all day digging crap out of my eyes. I love it here. It's just that I wish I could get rid of that one thing. So, I was right about something, as usual. I mean that literally, because when I speak, it's because I know what I'm talking about. That's why on Fridays, I'm often quiet, because the other guys, Matt, Blake, they knew their stuff. But what did I say? What happened? Well, there's a long list of stuff. In fact, I've got that list on my phone. But one of the things that's already happened here in the greater Tampa area, at least in my area. So I've got to, we'll have to share this as well. I got a text from Valerie in Pennsylvania. Something about the typical liberal, which I guess that means I must be, because I'm not a Trump supporter. That's another stereotype that I absolutely love. Unlike most of these asshats, and I'm not saying Valerie is one, but so many of the Trump people that I just am trying to accept. I've actually read the Bible cover to cover, and I'm pretty impressed. Pretty good trick to pull off. Come back from the dead and not scare the hell out of everybody. I'm looking for today's motivation. I know what I want to say. That was a good one, but I already used it back in August. Yeah, I mean, here's one. We can do this. And I think we will. So, morning motivation coming up from Frank Sinatra. We have Pierre's Pot. It's the day before Halloween. And 2 days before my 53rd birthday. Woohoo. So, up first, the best revenge is massive success. Almost, well, let's see. Right now, it's about a year and a half ago. Two people that I know well, that's all I'll say, got in a drunken fight over Trump and politics. They haven't spoken since. Now, you can probably figure out that these two people are family, and I'm not one of them, for the record. But they've not spoken since. They don't go to family gatherings together, to include large family gatherings like Christmas, even though a mutual member of that family asked them to reconcile so that could happen. So when I heard about this story, I sent them a video from Gary Vaynerchuk, who talks about not allowing politics to come between you and your family, as I've tried to do. I still talk to members of my family that are Trump supporters. I've still continued to ask them and would be receptive of them telling me why they are Trump supporters. There's a dog at my feet again. And listen, I'm not telling them how crazy they are. I'll save that for here on the air when they ain't listening. But Circle. Ugh. Now Circle K is going mafia, having an inner circle. If they would have watched this motivational video, 30 seconds, I believe it would have struck with them some level of inspiration that would have at least inspired them to begin to talk things out. Because things like that are not going to happen immediately or overnight. It's a process. And you've got to respect that process. But if you don't start that process, you're not going to have a process to respect. That's it. And so when I sent that video to the family, I got to see how we look here. That process. Nope. Sorry about that if there's a loop. If you don't start that process, you don't get to a process of the healing. You don't get to the point where you begin to forget about the fact that you had differences and have the capability or the opportunity to focus on commonalities. And that's happened multiple times in the past week. One of the biggest supporters of Trump that I know is coming on my show Friday as a friend to wish me a happy birthday. Grant Cardone said he'll stop by by whatever method. He's not going to be here, but by whatever method to actually wish me happy birthday. So that's a step. Big announcement that we've got for our schedule. 2 big announcements. We'll talk about later. It is cause for another step to someone make a return to Up the Middle. that I didn't want to lose, frankly, but his own schedule prevented us from partnering further. I can tell you that one. Philip Blackett, another Trump supporter. And these two guys, Grant, Philip, both of them, very intelligent people. Philip went to Harvard. So when I hear multimillionaires or even billionaire, I don't know what Cardone is. When I hear, and we all have various differences of assorted variety opinion, but they did something right. Philip, you know, good Christian father, husband, and you don't have to be Christian, by the way. It's just that he is the best that I can see, claims to be a Christian and as such follows those values. I mean, as a Christian is, perhaps he's also a sinner by following Donald Trump, but we'll discuss that later. Philip will be joining us on Tuesday. Not during the day, but in one of the two special announcements that I have, and that is Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific, for 3 hours till 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific. We will be covering results live throughout various portions of the Mastiff Media Network, to include, as of last night, the Tan Talk Network right here in Tampa. They're interested. I just need to call them and give particulars so they can further consider what they can and cannot contribute to the show. Same as WDJY and Height Media in Atlanta. So that's one swing state and one swingable state. If they would have been able to get a message out a little better, like, I don't know, come on my show, Debbie Powell. Like I've asked. But then also this Friday, here's announcement number 2. You're getting them all right away. Announcement number 2. We begin at KSHP, Las Vegas, Nevada. Swing state number 2. Wish we could have done this all earlier. Maybe now you'll realize the opportunity for sponsorship, which is this. News, NEWZ, at YERGZ.com. Hit us up. And find out what specials we've got for, in general, for live commercials, for pre-recorded commercials, for a combination, for being on our social media, and especially for this Tuesday night. We're psyched for that. Where am I? There we go. Put this back up. No, that's just down here. Now what? Oh, speaking of which, I'm getting an alert from Basecamp. Let's see what that is. Well, here we go. Hi, Ross. Greetings. I want to inform you that we will set up live stream for you to air live next Tuesday, 8 to 11 p.m. If you intend to create a banner for live coverage, post it at 10 a.m., Monday, 10 a.m. Oh, I guess that's for their Facebook page, probably. To create a banner for the live show, post it at 10 a.m. We are not going to work directly with the media company, although only through your network. Okay. Well, yeah. Awesome. There you go. WDJY has officially signed on as one of the sponsors for Tuesday night show. And when I told the various terrestrial stations, oh, somebody wants to visit. We got a special celebrity. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Shady who's interrupting my show. What I told the terrestrial stations that they would all be the primary sponsors if they didn't charge my company for the airtime, because I'm in what's called self syndication. It's kind of like I don't know that that's a real method, so to speak, as much as it's kind of what we all call it because it sounds funny. But now WDJY will be one of the sponsors. And so when I do a commercial, it's going to be for their station. And they'll be able to dictate what is in that message, whether it's saying, hey, call Nicole, call Sandy, call whoever to get your show on their station. You don't have to be from Atlanta. Like I'm in Tampa. You just have a message that you think people in the Atlanta area will be interested in. And I, for example, have another, I forget what they said it was, 2,000 roughly every day that listen through the internet. So probably outside of Tampa or outside of the actual listening area in the Tampa area. The signal doesn't extend far enough. Point being, your signal extends beyond what you're currently doing. And there we go. The best revenge is massive success. Now, why am I talking about revenge? Well, when I played that video of the inspirational video from Gary Vaynerchuk on YouTube, I tagged all of those people involved in that family pissing match because that's the only way I knew how to get a hold of all of them, especially in mass. One of the people asked me to untag the I won't say, I'll make it gender neutral, asked me to untag that person because they were worried about their professional reputation. You're getting in a fight with a family member over this, and this is not a political opinion, but it's a fact that your assertions were wrong. Stop, baby. Your assertions were wrong, and you're worried about me damaging your reputation? No. And so what I told them was, you want me to remove the tag. Confirm to me that you've watched the video. 30 seconds. That's all it took. 30 seconds. And I'll take the post down. What you do with the information from that point is up to you. You can consider it, realize your stupidity, both sides of this particular pissing match, not just one. Or you can go, at this point, where it's up to the next year and a half, and still not have talked to that family member. And now, by the way, I and my family are the bad guy. Because various members of my family, who also asked on behalf of these people for me to take the post down, are now in trouble because they were unable to convince a then 51-year-old adult who thinks for himself, unlike any of these sheep. They were unable to convince me to take the post down or to untag them. So now I'm the bad guy. This is what happens. This is a risk you take. Not when you try to help, but when you try to talk common sense into somebody who doesn't have it. You can only do so much. So now, because I'm the bad guy, grandkids and grandnephews and nieces don't get to see great aunts and uncles. And they miss the contact they used to have with said great aunts and uncles. The other mutual family member who wants to have both of his kids at holidays, like all of us, is not getting any younger. And now each year runs a greater risk of never seeing that day happen because of ego. I, on the other hand, have reached people, like I said, within this past week. We've had intelligent, factual, intellectual conversation about politics, and nobody killed anybody. Everybody's still alive. In fact, everybody's even still friends, if you can fathom that. Well, there you go. Put your issues aside. Put your own ego further aside and realize you could have been the cause of whatever closed communications you've now got. Realize you could have been the source of that stupidity. Like supporting a candidate who represents your family values, who's been divorced 3, you heard that right, 3 times, who's cheated on all 3 wives, who's now twice attempted to pay a porn star to remain quiet. After the first one fabulously went down in flames, the first payment. And this person is your beacon of good business, having gone bankrupt 6 times. Tell me how any of this makes sense. Just because he tells you he can do better? He told you he was going to build a wall and didn't. What little bit of a wall he did build fell over. This is a guy who owns a construction company. What are the kids saying these days? Let that sink in. This is a guy who's telling you how bad immigrants are. Yet none of his wives, when he met them, were American citizens. Third one, kind of rumored that he paid for. He's the one, his campaign is the one saying that Kamala Harris is a prostitute. And there he is buying a wife from a dating service. Yeah, you're not going to find it on the internet anymore because somebody had it scrubbed. Look hard. Do your homework. This is a guy that you look and seek the truth from, who during his first campaign and first term as president lied to you more than 30,000 times. Divide that by, let's just say, 5, even though it was a longer period. Divide it by 6. That's an even 5,000 times a year. Divide that in half. That's 2,500 times in 6 months. 1,250 times in 3 months. More than 400 times a month. Roughly 100 plus times a week. He's lied to you. I'm on the air every day. I don't talk to you that much in a week. And believe me, there's truths I would love to stretch. I would love to tell you Donald Trump's a great candidate, when no political scientist worth any of their salt would say that. So yeah, it is 11:28. I need to take a break. When we come back, Pierre's pot and whatever else is going on today. 99.1 WDJY, the rest of the Mastiff Media Network. We'll be back after this.
From iHeart Podcasts.
What the hell is going on in here?
Everyone has their limits.
I'd never confronted a situation like this.
The numbers were being inflated and lied about and conflated.
I just thought it was just a really terrible, immoral thing for him to do.
A line they won't cross.
I was stunned, and I just said to him, no.
We're killing people. What exactly are we doing here?
I remember him saying, in this 007 evil villain kind of way, this is the beginning of a process.
You may never have to face that decision. When you find yourself at that line,
Thoughts racing, hearts racing, emotions are all over the place.
They could be harassed, they could be imprisoned, they could be killed.
Somebody needs to just, for once, give everybody the whole truth.
I'm like, this is evil.
and the only person who can sound the alarm is you.
She folded it up, put it in her pantyhose, and walked out of the building.
Yeah, I really am the world's dumbest criminal.
These are the whistleblowers.
I wasn't just going to sit silently by.
I was told you take your questioning black self and get it on up out of my facility because you're trouble.
The message is, if you are disloyal, if you speak out, you will pay.
This is what it's like when the president decides he wants to destroy you.
Bad things are going to happen to him. Anti-American. You are a disgrace to our country. He should be prosecuted.
When power corrupts, conscience is the last line of defense.
Is it ever too late to do the right thing?
We talk about institutions, but they're really about individual people.
The responsibility drops in everybody's lap.
I'm Miles Taylor. The Whistleblowers premieres Thursday, July 13th on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Check out Miles Taylor and the Whistleblowers. I've referenced that plenty of times throughout Up the Middle, Both Sides Now, and Yerg's Tonight. He does an excellent job telling the stories of various people who blew the whistle on the Trump administration and their reasons why, personal and professional, as well as the consequences that these people paid to get the truth to the public. Check out the Whistleblowers on Apple, iHeart, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. The July date that he mentioned is from 2023, and season 1 is complete. It's excellent, and it's still very relevant, probably now more than ever. So I certainly recommend that you give it a look. See you again. So I just heard from another member of our network. WWPR commented on I kind of included them accidentally on purpose because they usually take part in something like this. It's not a definite, but we're hoping that 1490 joins us on Tuesday night as well for Bradenton and the rest of the southern Tampa Bay portion. Val Silver, the owner of the station and general manager, says if Trump starts winning, I might have technical issues. Hey, I'm sure they'd rather hear it from a friend. But I'm going to reach out to her today. Also, confirm all the different portions of my concept, and it's going to be the same as when we covered the debate. So I'm sure she's familiar with it. I got to clear my throat better. Hold on, everybody. I didn't get a chance to mute though. Anyway, so I didn't really get a chance to talk about it as much as I wanted to yesterday. But Pierre's pot, first of all, I need more monitors. I got to get my other monitors working. Good Lord. Pierre's pot, shout out's going to go to my dad today. I should do this tomorrow to him tomorrow, only because tomorrow is All Hallows Eve, which means what? Actually, I should do it Friday because that's All Saints Day. That's when you honor your family and ancestors. I guess he's an ancestor, even though he's still living. But he's been here for almost a week now, putting up with me, leaving in the middle of our workday to do this. Eric Reed, a fellow former coworker from Secret Service, listened earlier this week and gave me kudos for doing this from my garage. For those of you on video, yeah, that's where I'm at. So Matt Deemer from our Friday show wasn't the only one to have done this in a garage. He was the first. I did not go to a garage when I had a perfectly good studio, but Pierre Robert from Philadelphia's 93.3 WMMR is a disc jockey I've been listening to literally my whole life. He's still with MMR. He does. I don't know that it's actually a part of his show, like we've made it, but whenever he talks about a listener, and he gives him a toast, he says, "A toast of the morning sauce in your direction," meaning he's saying cheers to you. And of course, that morning sauce is coffee. I finished my coffee already, so today is Dr. Pepper. 0 sugar, less taste, but Dr. Pepper. So to Pops Senior, my kid calls me Pops now, Pops Senior, and also some neighbors that have helped get me caught up. We've toasted, we've cheersed the cleanup team that keeps coming by literally every night this week after they really finished the whole neighborhood, our whole street. We're getting caught up to everybody on that street, and as such, at the end of the day, there's a new pile of rubbish, debris that they would have loved to have already had dealt with. Somebody's here. I can hear my dad talking. The dogs were peeked up to it. So anyway, this one's going to go to Yogi. Thanks for everything, Dad. And yeah, love you, buddy. Thank you. Anyway, to wrap up for today, it's only another hour show today. We want to review, make sure I gave you all the news. So this Friday, we're adding KSHP in Vegas. That'll be a weekly edition to start, which is when we start everybody, because that's where the group is. Tan Talk is right now only on Friday. Who else? WWPR, our first terrestrial station, started with us on Fridays. We're going to expand them to a Wednesday and Monday as soon as we can. WDJY is now daily in Atlanta. Some other shows weren't working out as well, or Psycho and the Psychic went on vacation for the summer, so we took those spots, and we did buy some others to complete the 11 a.m. hour in Atlanta. We're Monday through Friday. Then on Monday on Monday we're 2 hours in Atlanta. We're still only 1 hour on Fridays, even though our show is 2 hours. In that second hour is when WWPR joins, and they will not be able to join in the 11 o'clock hour because there's a 10 o'clock show that runs for 2 hours on Fridays, so we can't cut into that. Oh, it's my neighbor. He's happy to have his new wheel. We bought my neighbor a wheelbarrow with the conditions that I get to use it. I'm like, Dad, my garage is his garage. Actually, his garage is my garage. I half the tools here are his. So, yeah, I to get back to Val Silver from Bradenton, I stand by my original claim. I don't think this election is going to be close. I said gas would drop below $3 a gallon. It is below $3 a gallon in my area of Tampa, and that's the area I was talking about. So it's falling respectively throughout the rest of the country. You do the math, whatever it was when I said that compared to what it is now. I said it would drop to this price. I've got a list of other things I was right about. All the more reason why you need to be listening to me. I told you. I told you that Donald Trump was going to be indicted. I never gave you a number. 4 times even shocked me. I told you there would be a return of buffets and room services in hotels post-COVID. They're back. I told you that Kushner was as big of a deal as Hunter Biden. And go to season 1 of Up the Middle, just the podcast, for the 3-part series on that issue. I told you George Santos was a failure. He was then indicted and is not running for re-election. I told you that I used the hashtag last year. I haven't used this one recently. Hashtag Republican Rebuild. That the GOP should treat 2022 and 2024 as a rebuild or development years. Brian Tyler Cohen, a very progressive talking head, and GOP strategist Tim Miller have said that same thing. I can offer you a link in the show notes from today. Chris Christie was going to rise in the polls. I told you that. He did. Especially after he dropped out and started talking more about Trump. I told you about the Republican tax cuts and debt. The link to that in the show notes. I told you Trump was going to be found guilty in New York. There's other things that he's going to be found guilty for. You heard it here. Second Amendment will be challenged by other amendments. That's happening. And the point of that being, Kamala Harris is a gun owner. She said it. Tim Walz is a hunter. This one's still outstanding. Lauren Boebert would not be reelected. I might lose that one. I'd trade up any of the others to get that one out. But I might lose that one. And I also called a Biden victory in 2024. I stand by that, although we need to change it to Kamala Harris, which is kind of still sort of the same thing, even though she said her administration will not be a continuation of his. Well, I'm not disappointed if it is. I do believe he's somewhere in the top 20 with everything that he's handled that just isn't even realized yet. And this is one of the biggest lessons I've learned. 21 years in the government. Are you okay? My dog gets issues. He's doing some gagging. You okay, buddy? Rest your belly. 21 years in the federal government, more than 11 of them in D.C. You see stuff like this firsthand. I know Lindsey Graham should be voting for LGBT issues because he's single. I wonder how his chief of staff feels about that. Every time Lindsey Graham says he's single. You see things, and you see the accuracy behind them, like how much the media really does lie to you, Fox especially. And Fox has told you some whoppers that you took hook, line, and sinker. It must have been asked before. Reddit says he is likely gay. The opportunity never presented itself. Well, that's actually not true.
Oh.
Oh, bought and paid for. Just like the male prostitute that he had. Let's Google that, Lindsay. I actually know the guy. I'm not talking about Lindsey Graham. Sad closeted hypocrisy of Lindsey Graham. Gay sex rumors aside, Lindsey Graham's LGBTQ record is a flaming trash dumpster. He's not been supportive at all. Which will shoot himself in the foot someday. Yeah, so there's that. But go ahead, go support Trump. Why would you want to be a man and stand up for what's right, like you claim your party does? Go ahead. Bow down. You're good at being somebody's bitch. Oh, the frustration from things like that. Besides it being sickening. I'm just making some adjustments here on my desktop. Sorry. So, yeah, Tuesday, 3-hour show, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll be covering the results of the night as we have them that much. We'll see what else comes out of it, of course, but I'm looking for the window from the browser that's got today's show on it. There we go. Okay. And then there's a bunch of other things. I gotta give me a second. Condensing, so all right. One more break, and then we'll wrap up today. 99.1 WDJY, Massive Media Network. And yeah, we'll be back after this. Smell nasty. Do you want to freshen it up a little bit? Go to aromabypeter.com. Check out all of Peter's candles. It's what we burn here in Studio Yergs. I'm burning right now leather scented candle. That's right, leather scented. So go to aromabypeter.com/Yergs and check out his candles today.
I'm Jane Stahl, retired English teacher, and with my BFF, Susan Bebeck, we manage Studio B Fine Art Gallery in Boyertown, Pennsylvania. We showcase the art of hundreds of local artists, publish books of the poetry, prose, and art of local writers, offer classes, art parties, workshops, discussion groups, cater dinners. We've even hosted a wedding. And we're here to be the go-to place for friendship, learning, and fun in our community. Virtual tours of our exhibits are available right here on Yergs Radio. Let us introduce you to some amazing art and artists.
Check out Jane Stahl and everyone at Studio B in Boyertown, Pennsylvania. Please visit our YouTube channel, Talk TV 24. How's your website doing? I'll tell you how mine's doing. It's awesome. Yergs.com is gotta be the best website for anybody in podcasting or any sort of broadcast solo journalist like me. How did I get that? Limit Break Digital. Limit Break Digital did my website with Yergs.com. They did YergerGroup.com. They take care of my marketing, my branding, and help me get the message out to you. Go to limitbreakdigital.com/Yergs for 10% off your next project. That's a $3,000 site, Yergs.com. And you can get 10% off that by just going to limitbreakdigital.com/Yergs today. Talk to Jay. That's my guy. We all got a guy, and Jay's mine. limitbreakdigital.com. Hey gang, it's Yergs. Right now, our country is about to embark on yet another controversial presidential election. I have an actual question, legitimate question, as a political scientist and historian by education. If you are a Trump supporter, I want to hear from you. I want to know what your appeal to Donald Trump is at this time. Please email me news, N-E-W-Z, at yergs.com. News, N-E-W-Z, at YERGZ.com. Thanks. Participants must be willing to provide their contact information, answer a series of questions, and then have their first name broadcast over the radio and social media relevant to Up the Middle. Momentum Fitness. Let's see, where's my music? There we go. Momentum Fitness and Wellness, formerly Monster Mouse Fitness. Momentum Fitness and Wellness, Bayonet Point, Jasmine Estates, Hudson on 19. I guess it's about a mile south of 52 by the Arby's in that same plaza. Well, by Jasmine Estates. There you go. New equipment, upgraded equipment, new space, additional space, indoors and out. Cold plunge tanks, saunas, stretching area, larger stretching area, larger workout area, larger space inside. They bought out the contract, the lease of a neighbor. Totally redone building. All you have to do, walk up to the door. QR code right on the door helps you sign up. But definitely talk to Anthony anyway. Tell him Eric sent you. Get some hours with him training. All hours. The guy's in there at 3 o'clock in the morning, just like the president and the one county commissioner that I'm endorsing, running up and down our street collecting mattresses at 3 in the morning. This guy's in training clients 3:30 in the morning. You lost momentum, get it back. Get that Hernando Beach body. Keep your Hernando Beach body. Or get whatever beach body. When you get that momentum. That Momentum Fitness and Wellness. Bayonet Point, Jasmine Estates, Hudson, Florida. Oh, that went down fast. Sorry about that. All right, so tomorrow we're back to Psycho. I had a total brain fart just now. Sorry. We're back to Psycho and the Psychic. Mars will be back for what's now a weekly show with us, the two of us, till we figure out some other things that we're doing. I will be on another show later this afternoon. It's on, of course, he's got to be right at the wall that I'm at. Oh. I am on, where is this? We're talking about Mary Lynn from Breakfast of Champions. The cleaning up after disaster or fire, such as the hurricane. And this is going to be I think it's going to be on Clubhouse. I'll have a link on yergs.com, but it's coming up soon. It's 1 o'clock this afternoon. It's in an hour. I'm on at 2 o'clock, which means 3 o'clock. Because I'm on, it starts at noon Central, which is 1 o'clock for us. So I'm on at 2, which is 3. And I'm looking forward to it. Organized by my friend Consuelo, who's helped me get the desktop version to Chatter. I'm finally finishing that up. And you'll be getting the show as one of the social media platforms, social audio platforms, through the desktop version of Chatter. We're looking to do that on Tuesday. What else? I'm just trying to go through all the announcements before I lose you for good. I am getting a bunch of, if I was straight, I'd friend this chick right away. She says she's in Newport Richey, which is not far from me. I mean, I guess technically I'm kind of bi. That's the only reason I'd friend her. She looks like that naughty. There's nothing. Nothing tells you about her in the profile yet. If you looked at least a little bit to my profile, you'd see that I may not be all that interested, like I was back in the day. I don't know. Family and relationships. What's this say? Single. And no family members showing. I mean, lots of ink. She's shown that body to somebody else before. Overworked and under-effed. There you go. That's a t-shirt for you. I gotta confirm it. Just, I'm curious. Why not? Sabrina Starr. Because that's her real name. Here's another one. Monday, I'm back with the Pod Guys. Live this week. Maybe it's this is a show they did already. But I will be Monday night. I'm with them Monday night. I know that. I don't remember what time they actually start. They had, let's see. What's today? Today's Wednesday. So 28th, they had Dante Terrace, a lady author into the macabre and Halloween-esque stuff. So perfect date for her to be on. I am on the day before Election Day, so that's cool. I love doing internet radio, but need help and advice to increase the audience. Don't we all, Killer? Yep. And the thing about internet radio is that it's so easier to come by as a station owner, that the choices are so much more. And so it's hard to get people to listen, which is why I'm actually starting advertising. But yeah, I will be on. You can find them at his dude, Tony Kaz, C-A-Z. He is the producer of it and one of the hosts. I'll be on the Pod Guys podcast Monday. View profile. Where are you at? Oh, wow, some naughty Santas there. Getting ready for Christmas already. The Pod Guys podcast, I'll be there Monday. You can go to thepodguyspodcast.com for more information. I'll be there Monday. I'm trying to find the time. Bear with me. Yeah, they don't show it. Wait. Catalog, contact, about us. Kevin Neary, Sparky. Yeah, they don't say what time the actual show is. Contact. Oh, that's right after. That's no help. And then you can find it later. iHeartRadio, YouTube, Spotify, Facebook, wherever. But I want you to listen live. I'll put that on my calendar on Yergs.com. As always, go to Yergs.com. Oh, I just think we just lost because it just turned 12 o'clock. Go to Yergs.com. I got to run anyway. Go to Yergs.com, and all the updates we talked about today will be there. For more information, there. Mastiff.media, another site you can hit. See you again tomorrow. Back with Psycho and the Psychic tomorrow at 11. And then tomorrow at 11, Friday at 11, 2 hours for the birthday show. I turn 53. All right, everybody, keep talking. You've been running with the big dogs up the middle. We'll see you tomorrow.